you saw last week's vlog that went up today as I'm filming this vlog, you'll know that I wasn't sure what to read last night, and I didn't actually start anything last night because the wonderful G from Book Roast, I'll have her channel linked below, has released her magical readathon for this year, and it starts in September. So I just worked on my bullet journal, which, to be honest, isn't all that exciting until you get to this part. Now, my character is from the Eartheria estate and is an why can't I say it? Earthling. This is just the character information, and this is the prompts, and then we should go on to my daily pages read, my books read spread, and then the weekly pages on, which to go on. So that was what I was working on. Just away from the camera. So that's what I was working on last night. So no reading done, but I did start Cursed on Netflix, the Arthurian, one of the many Arthurian retellings that are out there in the world, and there's something about this Arthur that I don't quite like, but other than that, I am enjoying it. It's the story of Excalibur told through Nimwe's point of view, and there's a monk with weird eye tattoos. But that's what I'm watching but not at the moment, because I'm vlogging at the moment. Anyway, the book I started to read this morning it's Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. This is an Illumicrate edition, and I think it's signed. Yep. I just lost my page. Never mind, I know what chapter I'm on. We have the Illumicrate edition, and I got up to chapter 2. Not much has happened so far. We've met one of the three sisters, James Juniper, and she is on the run, suspected of witchcraft, because in this world it's historical. I believe it's set in the 1800s. Let me just get the dust jacket. And that's my bullet journal as well. So yeah, it's 1893. No such thing as witches, but there was, and there will be again. It's in the time of the suffragette movement. We've met, out of the three Eastwood sisters, we've met James Juniper. I think she's the youngest, but she's also the wildest, and she's the one who is on the run for suspected witchcraft and murder, I believe. I think she killed their dad. Then we have Agnes Amaranth, who I think might be telling the story. And then we have Beatrice Belladonna, who is the wisest of the three. And I think it's Agnes who we're going to pick up in the second chapter. But basically they are in New Salem, where obviously a woman's power is down to being able to vote, and that's just started, plus a little bit of magic. What I'm interested in is to see how the witch trials come into the suffragette movement, because I'm sure there'll be a similarity somewhere. But yeah, that's it for this intro. going to read and pop a little bit of YouTube on in the background. I still haven't found my remote for my Fire Stick, but there's an app on my phone that will do a digital version of the remote, which I'm so happy about. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight, and I'll come back to you if anything happens. Okay, so it's a Tuesday. I'm sitting with this background because I've just filmed my book picks for my TBR video. I'm not going to show you because this video goes up on Monday and the TBR will be on Friday of that week, and I don't want to give you sneak peeks anyway, just yet anyway. So currently reading The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I'm at the halfway part, or just under, but look at how this just picks up the light. So it is a little bit slow to start with because we are following 3 perspectives, and and they are quite distinct. We follow James Juniper, who's the youngest, Agnes, what's her middle name? Amaranth, I want to say, and who is the middle child, and then we follow Beatrice Belladonna, who is the oldest, and James is escaping their father because she's killed him. That's not a spoiler, it says it pretty early on. And she meets up with the girl, with her sisters, and decides that the suffragettes aren't for them, but they're going to create their own suffragette movement using witchings, like little magic doodahs, little tricks, to try and gain power back from the men and allow the women their own sense of autonomy for possibly the first time, while also bringing this old magic back. So that's happening in that one. Like I say, it was a little bit slow to get going, but once the magic spectacles started happening and the story started moving, I flew through it. I'm on chapter 21, which is page 245 out of 513. So that's that. Now I have to find somewhere to put the books for next month's TBR. Somewhere safe before I can show you, because I don't want to give you sneak peeks from the top. Leave that with me, and I'll come back to you if anything interesting happens. Cue the montage. Okay, so it's Wednesday. I have finished work for a while. Went shopping, but the lunchtime I finished The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I'm giving it a 4-star. I think I gave you a... I'm going to have to do something too hot. But I think I gave you a rough synopsis of what this was about. We follow 3 girls, the Eastwood Sisters, James Juniper, Beatrice Belladonna, and Agnes Amaranth, who are the Eastwood Sisters, who have, when they were younger, they learnt some secrets of witchcraft, and now they are dragged into it when something is out to get them, in a time where the suffragette moved, where women were wanting the vote and power, so they were campaigning for the suffragette movement. And James actually tries to join up for the suffragettes. They let her in until she proves, until she does a stunt that outs her as a bit of a witch, and the ladies of the suffragette movement don't like that. And it was an enjoyable read. I enjoyed the writing style. It felt fairy tale-ish, and there were witch tales interspersed throughout the story as well. Now these witch tales are similar to our own fairy tales, but they are from the witch's point of view almost. The witch is given a different spin on things. So I gave that one 4 stars, which takes my wrap up to 15 books this month. However, my Bookbox Club arrived, and I have already opened it and seen what's inside, and I'm very impressed. But this month's theme was Stranger Than Fiction, so we're seeing sci-fi books and goodies, so here it is. I'm not sponsored, I get this with my own money. The Clubhouse Invitation, which also has a really cute spoiler card art. We have a water bottle, and this was designed by Pin and Ink Card.co, and it is a cute little yellow water bottle with some really cute, I don't know if my camera's going to pick it up, but some really cute decorations on it. Oh, and there's a cat, and it obviously has the marks to say how much is left of measuring marks, and everything apart from hot drinks is okay for this one because it says it on the label. Next, we will just move the wormies over there. We have a cute little pin that is inspired by one of the books of the month, because it is a double book month this month. It's a cute little pin that says The Upper World, and that was designed, it doesn't say, so I'm assuming it was designed just by Bookbox Club themselves. We have a fabric item, which is a tote bag, and it just says, "We are all strange, we just become good at pretending we are normal." And this is by Megan Designs on Instagram. It doesn't tell me what the quote is from, but it's a nice little tote bag, nice little size. Can never have too many tote bags. We have a little promo card for a book called Splinters of Sunshine by Patrice Lawrence, who wrote Eight Pieces of Silver. Two childhood friends pulled apart by circumstance will a fragment from their past bring them back together. Nice little promotional item that I could probably use as a bookmark. And speaking of bookmarks, we have another promotional item. It says Magic is Within at Raystar Books, Earthlings The Beginning. It's a nice cute little bookmark item, methinks. We have more bookmarks, but these ones are called Bright Sparks, and I think they're hilarious. These again are, I think these are done in-house by Bookbox Club, and it is just a little light bulb with the clippy on the back. You don't need me to demonstrate how bookmarks work. This is some Time Lord tea, and it is hibiscus, rosehip, orange peel, apple pieces, elderberries flavour, blackberry leaves, and sea buckthorn berries. I like it when it comes in a little test tube like this. I don't know why. And obviously that is inspired by Doctor Who. Now, this is as I've mentioned, this is a double book box. So the first book is The Upper World by Femi Faduba. I probably said that wrong, and I do apologise. We have the signed book plate just in the middle, just to stick that in when I get a chance. But if you had the chance to change your future, would you take it? Esso is a teenager running out of time and into trouble. When he discovers he has the ability to see glimpses of the future, he becomes haunted by a vision of a bullet fired in an alleyway with devastating consequences. A generation later, 15-year-old Ria is desperately searching for answers.
A catastrophic moment from the past holds the key to understanding the parents she never got to meet. When Esso and Rhea's fates collide, a race against the clock becomes a race against time itself. So I think this is a bit of a thriller. Holly Jackson has blurbed it saying, a time-twisting, mind-bending thrill ride. Then the last item in the box of the other book again has a signed book plate, and this is Every Line of You by Naomi Gibson. I didn't build Henry because I was able to. I built him because I was lonely. He was my distraction, my friend, someone to comfort me when I had bad dreams about my brother and my dad, someone to vent to about my mum. Oh, this author's British. She said mum, not mum. Innie. Now he's outstripped me and is capable of so much more. He can stretch his digital fingers, hurt people who've hurt me, but now there's a cybercrime unit watching our every move and asking questions about Henry that I can't answer. What is Henry? What have I created? What have I come to love? This is AI. Very interesting. I do think this is a quite good box. I mean, you can never have too many Wobbles. And next month's theme there isn't anything in the box to tell me, but on Instagram I do believe it is the August Spectacular. I want to say it has a really cute circus theme on the artwork, and I believe it is also Bookbox's 5th birthday, so that's fun. So I just have my bullet journal to update, to say I've read The Ones and Future Witches. I still have to fill in the books I picked for my TBR, which you will see on Friday. The Friday that this video goes. This video goes up on the Monday, so you'll see that on the Friday of the same week, hopefully. And just write my review of Once and Future. And I think in terms of booktube videos, I think Chloe from Books with Chloe has just uploaded a vlog, so we'll probably watch that. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now. This is the sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, where our Belle character is Harper. She lives in our world in Washington, and she is taken by the Princess Commander of the Guards, Grey, to Emberfall, where our prince is Ren, and he is the Beast character. So and obviously it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so we all know how that ends. But A Heart So Fierce and Broken is what happens after the happily ever after, and is dealing with the fallout of what happens at the end of the book. I am no good at describing sequels without giving spoilers. But we have met a new character in this, Leah, and she is kick butt. She is a princess of a neighbouring kingdom, and she wants peace. And I'm just about to start chapter 19. Obviously, I've been reading this between calls at work and we got a little bit busier today, and I couldn't get into it as much because I was concentrating half on calls and half on making sure everything was okay. But this is the plan for tonight, and if I haven't mentioned it already, the book I was reading before, which was The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow, was Read a Book with Sprayed Edges, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken is Read a Book with a 4-star or higher Goodreads rating. Now, I can't remember the exact rating of this. Let's have a look. I think it's something like 4.5. Oh, 4. But I am enjoying it so far. I think the plans for tonight, because it is Thursday, are just to read, and I think Steph from Steph Loves has put up a reading vlog, so we'll be watching that. I'll see you soon. So it is Saturday now. I have 2 books to talk about. The first one was the one that you would have seen me start, I believe, and I think I gave you a brief synopsis of what it was about. But that is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Camera. I finished it. I actually finished it on Thursday night. I stayed up past my bedtime to finish this, and it's a 5 out of 5 stars. It is definitely a what happens after the happily ever after, and it is a second book, but in my opinion it doesn't suffer the second book curse, and it's distinct enough that it stands on its own, because we are following Gray and Ren, but a couple of other new characters as well, like Leah Mara. I do like Leah Mara. She's a bit of a reader. I can't tell you who she is for fear of spoilers, but she is a very important character. She has that way about her where she doesn't realise just how important she is, and she's a reader. But this one I'm giving 5 out of 5 stars. The only sort of criticism I have is that it mentions Harper's name on the back, and obviously Harper was one of the main protagonists from A Curse So Dark and Lonely. We don't actually see much of her perspective in this one, because it is told in multi-perspective. Oh, I went all American there. Multi-perspective. But we don't hear from Harper in this one. But I did enjoy it. So we'll put it back. And then we have Ribeira by Jordan Ifak. I started this one yesterday, but there was no update yesterday because I went shopping and I got this little top. The dress is separate, but I got this top and no books. But I came home and I was just exhausted, so I just read into this a little bit more, and I got to page 131, which is chapter 10, and the start of part 2, because this book is told in parts. I'm going to tell you about part 1, because I don't think that would be a spoiler, because this is all, the first 100 or so pages is all in part 1. So this follows Tarasai, who is, at the start of the book, she's only about 6 or 7, and she is raised in isolation in this home in Swana, which is giving me Botswana vibes. I don't know why. But she's raised in isolation. She only has her tutors for company, and they are scared of her. They don't like to touch her because she can steal their memories. She doesn't steal them, she gives them back. But she can take their memories and see the story of them. She can do it with objects as well, but living things are easier for her. So there's that. So she's lonely. She knows her mother is around. She knows her mother as the lady, but the lady is cold and distant. A bit of an ice queen vibe. So one day Tarasai decides that she wants to go and find her mother, and she runs to these plains. I'm getting like an oasis. I got like an oasis vibe, and she meets a Agabolo or Eru type dude, and he tells her that he is her father and she was born of a wish. Now this wish is, it is on the back. So this wish is that once Tarasai gains the trust of the Prince Deo, she has to kill him. So the first part of the story is Tarasai learning that, going to the capital, and getting involved with the Council of 11, who are the current Emperor's advisors. They rule as a council of 11 and the Emperor himself, so Council of 12. And the council give up everything for the Emperor, and they bond through something called the Ray, and they can't be apart from each other because they get sick and mad. But what the council gets in return is family, friendship, and security, because I don't know if the council members can get killed, but I know the only people that can kill the Emperor is a member of the council, and they all swear not to do that. So that's that. And as I left off, and just as the start of part 2, Tarasai has been there for years, and there are delegates of every nation, continent, delegation in this world, and there are 11, and most of the council have been picked, but Deo wants Tarasai, and Tarasai keeps refusing to join the council because she knows about the wish and she doesn't want to hurt him. However, there is an accident that prompts Tarasai to unknowingly accept the bond that Deo was offering. He sent out, it sounds very sci-fi, but he sent out the Ray to try and get his council members to help, and Tarasai accidentally accepts that bond. She can hear Deo in her head, and she is able to save him, but that means she has accepted the bond, so therefore she joins the council. And that is where I left off. I am absolutely adoring the elements of African storytelling in this. We have the traditional call and response as it is noted in the book, and from what I know of African storytelling, which isn't much, it's told through song, and you have your storyteller, and then you have your participants, and your participants react with the storyteller will ask questions, and the participants will answer in song. So I'm liking that bit. The atmosphere is brilliant, and I'm just checking because I wanted to get this right all around, but I do think it is own voices because Jordan Ifak is Nigerian American. I wanted to get that the right way around. And just look at this cover. I know it's probably been pointed out before, it's too dark for it to pick it up, but there is a face in there. I'll see if I can get some better light at some point to show you the face. But that's it for this update. it is a Saturday, so I'm just chilling like a villain, waiting to get picked up to go to Sean's. And I'll see you tomorrow probably. Bye. Okay, so it's Sunday. I'm popping in with an update on Ribeira, a little mini haul, and to obviously finish the vlog because it is Sunday. So, first of all, I finished Ribeira by Jordan Ifak, and I absolutely adored this. The atmosphere is lush, and it's giving me African summer where everything is in bloom and everything is just alive, with that hint of magic. The traditional storytelling is a big part of this as well. And in terms of compile, which is CAWPILE, the rating system that I use, designed by G at Book Roast, everything got to 10, so this obviously came out at a 5-star. And I did not see who the lady was. I did not see that coming. If you know, you know. I'm sure some of you will probably have seen it coming, but I didn't. So that takes me up to book 17 of the month, and we still have about a week left, and I have 2 books left on the official TBR. I have this was the prompt for read a book you bought because everybody says good things about it. I believe I'm just going to double check. Good cute little bookmark. I don't know if you can see it. That came from Bookbox Club, which I think I unboxed Friday? No, Thursday or Friday. I did unbox it, I'm sure I did. Anyway. Yeah, read a book you got because you heard good things about. And this did not let me down. And I know I said I was going to try and get a better picture of the cover, so can you see the... Comment down below if you can see the face. But yeah, I have, and I do know that Redemptor is out as well, so I'll be keeping my eye out for that one. And speaking of new books, this segues nicely into the mini haul, because I have no chill and Sean is an enabler. So we'll just start at the top. We have Winterkeep by Kristen Cashaw, and it's floppy. This is the next installment in the Graceling realms, which obviously started with Graceling, Fire and Bitterblue. This is a little bit, I think this is set a little bit after Bitterblue, where she is now queen. But Winterkeep is a land of miracles, a democratic republic, a place where people speak to telepathic sea creatures and adopt telepathic foxes as pets. Okay, so this is a fox. I wasn't sure if it was a fox or a wolf. So, Bitterblue, the queen, sends in envoys to Winterkeep, and they keep drowning under suspicious circumstances. So, Bitterblue, Gideon and her half-sister Hava set off to find out what's happening. But then there seems to be a character on Winterkeep, Lavisa. Lavisa is the Cavender. She's a teenage daughter of a powerful scholar with a fire inside her that is always hungry. She's the key to everything, but only if she can figure out what is going on in Winterkeep before anyone else, and only if she is willing to transcend the person she's been all of her life. So I don't think I need to explain what this realm, but basically in this realm you have your graces, and sorry, I've got really itchy nose. That's better. So in this world you can be blessed with a grace, and they can be something as useful as being really good at cooking, or something as useful as being able to walk, or useless, not useless, but as trivial as being able to walk backwards. Bitter Blue is, in her story Bitter Blue, she was the queen of a tyrant. She was the daughter of a tyrant, and it's been so long since I've read the original trilogy. But I remember absolutely loving it at the time, and I think it was quite instrumental as being part of the YA genre as a whole. And this is 511 pages, and it's YA, so I should be able to get it read fairly quickly when I eventually read it. Then we have a bit of a middle grade haul, to be honest. We have Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow, and you'll know that if you've been following the vlogs, you'll know that I recently read Nevermore, the something, what was it? Nevermore, the, I can't remember the subtitle. The Trials of Morrigan Crow. There we go. And I only read it last week or something. But yeah, this is obviously the sequel to that. And I don't know what to tell you for spoilers, and I think everybody knows about the Nevermore books at the moment by Jessica Townsend. So in this series of books, we follow Morrigan, who believes she's a cursed child, destined to die on the eve of her 11th birthday. But when that happens, she is whisked away by the incredibly not precocious, but the very outlandish Jupiter North, who takes her away to Nevermore, where she is entered into the trials to become a member of the Wondrous Society. In this world, you also have something called Bid Day, where professionals and schools bid on the children to try and take them and give them either a trade or an education. Now, Morrigan is a cursed child, so anything bad that happens, she gets the blame. Bless her, poor little child. And so, because of that, she believes that the 4 bids that she gets are a joke. One of them is, 2 of them are legit, the other 2 were a prank, maybe somebody just trying to be, not expecting her to actually be there. But the guy who bid on her is working on behalf of somebody else who is very important later on, and we find out just how important he is and why he wants Morrigan throughout the book. So this is the sequel, and I hope it has Finestra in it. She's a talking cat. Then we have Adventures on Trains, The Highland Falcon Thief by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition, but I'm not sure what is exclusive about it. Maybe there's illustrations or an extra story or something. But I'm sure I will find out. Oh, it's illustrated. That was a cool picture. Anywho, this does have illustrations by Eliza Paganelli. But this follows Harrison and his uncle Nat, who are enjoying the final journey of the Highland Falcon. But a precious jewel goes missing, so Harrison and his new friend Lenny find themselves at the centre of the investigation. Can they solve the mystery and catch the culprit before they reach the end of the line? Now, I have heard that I think Gav from How to Train Your Gavin and Jade from J.D. Ray Reads have both really enjoyed this book, and it should be a nice quick read about a jewel thief trying to solve the mystery of a jewel thief on a train. So, a bit like Murder on the Orient Express without the murder. We'll find out. And then we have the Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lipinski, and I did bag a signed copy with a little postcard, I think this is a postcard. It's a really cute print of the cover. But all I know about this one is that we follow 12-year-old Flick, who moves into a new town, but she's invited to join the Strange World Travel Agency, and when she gets there she finds out that she can travel to these magical worlds by using the suitcases, but nothing is as it seems, and magic is dying or being twisted, and it's up to her to break all the rules. She breaks all the rules trying to fix magic. So that's that one. I'm really getting into my middle grade at the moment, but if somebody can give me some fantasy recommendations for adults or some non-fantasy of any age range, that would be helpful, because I am trying to break out of the fantasy and widen my reading tastes, but fantasy will always be favourite, I think. So that's it for this vlog. I've forgotten what I've read already, other than I think it was Once and Future Witches, which I did give 4 stars. I did enjoy that at the time, but I think with that one I needed more character development on the antagonist. Didn't really get their motivation or any of that, and I need a good villain to give this a 5-star. The next book I read, speaking of 5 stars, was A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and I think I did do a mini review of that. But that was by Bridget Camera. The Once and Future Witches is by Alex A. Harrow. And so The Heart So Fierce and Broken, that enchantress is a bit of work. She's still twisting everything. And then obviously finishing off the week with Ribeira by Jordan Ifak, which I've just talked about, 5 stars. So I'm going to end this vlog now. Because I do have 2 books left on the official TBR, so I'll probably start A Court of Thorns and Roses or by Sarah J. Maas, which is the first in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, which I think everybody knows about. But that follows Ifak, who kills a wolf who turns out to be a fae in disguise, and as payment she's taken to the fae world to work off that debt, and then romantic things happen with the fae. Or Illusionary by Zoraida Cordova, which is the sequel to Incendiary, which is set in a fantasy world where magic people are called Moira. And their powers are set in different subgenres, and we follow Renata, who is a whisper. She can either steal memories or create memories, but she was used as a bit like an inquisitor in the palace before escaping and joining the rebels. But because of her past, the rebels don't trust her, and her rebel leader, who she has a bit of a thing for, ends up getting captured by the royals, and Renata ends up back where she started. And Illusionary is the sequel to that duology. So those are the 2 books I have left on the official TBR of the month, and I'll tell you which one I started in next week's vlog, which will start tomorrow on Monday, because that's when the week starts for me. Think about it, Anna. But anyway, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see this. Talk about them, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.